back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease?
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. But because it's being sold as a nutritional supplement and not a drug, Protandim does not need FDA approval for safety. For more, go to our website.
Okay, so that was sort of my introduction to Protandim, and just as Daisy mentioned, just to give you a little backstory for those who don't know, I am a veterinarian. I've been practicing for 13 years. Always had an interest in, holistic and natural treatments, and that kind of, after about 10 years of practicing, I really started to pursue that because I was just finding that I was seeing so many patients coming in stages of life, having that quality of life discussion so much, just covering them with drugs that were causing all these side effects, and just feeling like, people wanted more, wanted other options. And so about 2 years ago, I got trained in certified in acupuncture, and I've started incorporating that into my practice. And, a lot of people would come in and, with a bag full of supplements and lay it on the counter and be like, are these good for my dog? And to be honest, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know that there's really any science to show that there is. I know people say sometimes that, yeah, it helps, but I could never find a solid answer. And so, the other thing that pulled at me when I was introduced to this, which was actually by another veterinary friend of mine, who knows Daisy, and when she called me, she said, Allison, you've got to check this out. It's got all of this peer-reviewed research on PubMed. And for those of you that don't know what PubMed is, that's our National Institute of Health library, where all of our medicine is, where all of doctors go to do their research. And to get peer-reviewed and published is extremely hard. Only about 5% of things that are submitted for peer review actually get published. So she told me that this product has 16 published peer-reviewed studies on PubMed that's been done in the last 5 years. And I was blown away. So I, immediately went to PubMed and started reading all of these independent studies that had been coming out of Harvard and LSU and Ohio State and Colorado, and showing benefits with heart disease, benefits with melanoma skin cancer, in terms of breaking that link with cancer, looking at dental disease, muscular dystrophy, all these things, and chronic inflammation, and and I just started thinking, wow, there's so many things that immediately I'm thinking this could be good for. But the one thing that came to mind was my son. And my son, I have 2 boys, Mike and I, my husband, have 2 boys that are 7 and 11, both who were diagnosed with kidney disease in 2009. And my oldest son went into kidney failure when he was 5 in kindergarten, and had a transplant at 7. And around the same time, my youngest son was diagnosed with the same disease, and the doctors basically told us there was nothing they could do for it, and that just to prepare ourselves that he would go through the same path. And I didn't want to accept that, but I knew that that was probably going to be the course, but I was going to try other things. And so I did. For years, I tried a lot of different supplements and essential oils and everything that people said, oh, you should try. I've consulted naturopaths, and I'm a science person. I mean, I do believe in other things, natural and wellness, but I also like to see proof, and I like to see data. And that was the one thing with this that I saw, because, versus everything else that's out there, you don't see anything that's got the science to back it up. So that immediately got my attention, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try my son on this. We monitor his lab work very frequently. We know where his levels are and have been for 5 years, and I started him on it 2 weeks, and I was going to give it 30 days, like the human clinical trial. It was a 30-day trial, this big reduction in oxidative stress. And I put him on it for 2 weeks and checked his blood work because I was inpatient after 2 weeks, and his levels had dropped in half, and it was actually at a level where it'd never been in 5 years. And it was the closest to normal it's ever been, and I was really shocked. I didn't want to get too excited, but after that, another 2 weeks, I checked it again, and it was even lower. And so I knew it was doing something in his body. And when I researched this, just to kind of explain to you what it is 5 herbs, and these herbs are very well studied on their own individually, but they've been used for centuries in Chinese medicine. But when they're put together in this specific ratio, they have a synergistic effect in the body that none of the herbs can do individually, or if you tweak this ratio even slightly, you lose that effect. And so they were able to show that in research, and they showed, measured it against each herb individually, and they showed that it's this synergistic combination that does this, and it increases the body's ability to upregulate these are natural antioxidant enzymes to scavenge free radicals, and free radicals leads to cellular damage at every organ, every tissue, and so that's what oxidative stress is aging. And as we get older, we lose that ability to protect our bodies, and that's what leads to aging. That's what leads to inflammation. That's what leads to disease, cancer. I mean, everything. If you research oxidative stress, type in that with any disease, and you will see thousands of studies showing how the link. So basically what it does is when it upregulates these enzymes is it's able to neutralize free radicals 1,000,000 to 1 per second. And that's huge when you look at the other antioxidants on the market, like vitamin C, vitamin E, or any of the fruits, berries, juices, wine, whatever. All of those are direct antioxidants, so they only neutralize 1 free radical per antioxidant. Our bodies produce 300 sextillion free radicals per day, so there's no way to effectively consume enough direct antioxidants to combat that type of damage going on. So that's how Protandim is different, and how it's unique is that by making our own antioxidants, we're actually much more efficient and safer at protecting our bodies. So, and that's been proven, and that's what I needed to see. They also, in addition to Protandim, I mean, this was the flagship product that kind of launched the company, and it does have 6 U.S. patents, and then another 2 patents in other countries. But the technology belongs to the company. There is no competition. There's nothing else like it. And this is a huge revolutionary breakthrough in medicine with this technology, and pharmaceutical companies are chasing it. They've tried to buy the patents. They're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into what's called NRF2, and that's how Protandim works, is through this NRF2 protein body. But they also the company developed a canine product called Canine Health, which is the same herbs as in Protandim, added omega-3s and glucosamine. And so I got super excited when I learned about that, because again, I'm usually dealing with the hospice cases, that come in that are like coming from other vets that have been maxed out on pain meds, and they're looking for acupuncture to save them, and I'm like, yes, I'm seeing good results with acupuncture, but when I found out about this, I automatically knew my guinea pig dog, and this dog I could tell a story about. I'm like, I know the owners would do anything. She was my little test subject, started her on it, and this was a dog that was unable to walk without assistance, was unable to squat, and pee, or she'd fall over. She had no quality life, really, in the beginning. Acupuncture was helping her a little bit, but when I started her on this, about 6 weeks after, I got a video from the owner, and this was right around Christmas, made me cry, of her. She's a beagle, old beagle, and she was literally running in a circle in the backyard, happy. And this dog is still kicking. I've been treating her. I don't know. I thought probably last October that she was going to be gone. She's still feisty as anything. It's crazy. So, seeing that, and then was huge. So I knew. I wasn't even looking at the business, since I wasn't looking to do anything else. I was a very busy mom and busy with work, and we had a lot of family changes, and I was working in a lot of different clinics in order to keep my kids in private school and be able to get them after school. So I really wasn't looking to do anything else, but I knew I wanted this product for my family, for my kids. I wanted it for my patients. And so I did start kind of thinking about, looking at the company, and when I realized the opportunity that we have with that as a business, and it's something you can build as you're doing your regular job, and it's so amazing, you know, for everyone, and animal and person. I decided to really, just look into that. There are 2 other products that are also truly unique. There's nothing else like them. There's a skincare line, which is not like a skincare line. It sounds so cheesy, because there's so many out there, but this is truly science-based. It's basically topical protandim. It's the same herbal extracts. You're just putting it on your skin to protect your skin against all the oxidative stress that happens every day with sun and air and wind and everything. And so I love that it has studies as well, and it just shows that it works. It penetrates through the skin and heals the skin and repairs cellular damage from the inside out, versus a lot of these other prescription products that just kind of strip away the surface layer of the skin and damage all of the deeper layers. And so I used to show that, which is really again, patented technology that's nobody can duplicate. And then the last is a sports drink, which is again this Nerf 2 for the brain, and it's not, I hate saying energy drink because you just think of like the rock stars and monsters, which are all caffeine and sugar, but this truly is activating your brain. This is turning on that focus and taking away that brain fog that you get. And this stuff, I'm addicted to this stuff. It is, there's no sugar, there's no artificial flavors, colorings. It's all natural, completely natural. But these extracts that are in it just help so much with just that, getting you through the day. And I just remember I'd get that 3 o'clock crash, at work. I'd get headaches. So I used to drink Crystal Light, which is horrible. And this stuff is like a powder you just put in your water, and it's like you just in the zone. You don't get the jitters and all of that. So it's just, all 4 things are just so amazing. I'm like, you know what, I resisted the business, but I wanted all the products, and I thought, why am I resisting it? Because to become a distributor, you're going to get all the products. So I thought, well, even if I'm going to use them all myself, And then when I really started looking at the business, I got even more excited because, I really wanted to drop that 12-hour emergency shift on Sundays that I was working to help cover my kids' tuition. And, this is a no. There's no way I would ever put kids back in the situation they were in last year in their public school. We had a horrible year. And it really took me, we had to get to a rock bottom place in order to really make some changes in our lives. And now I would never go back to that. And so to me, this is something, and my husband here has a fabulous job with Turner, but they just laid off 2,000 employees. And he could have been one of them very easily. In fact, for a couple of months, we were sweating because, and it made me realize, and not only that, I'm working because I had to change jobs. I had to drop my salary and go hourly. And so and my kids' health, this is precarious. You never know what's going to happen. And I'm like, if one of them is in the hospital for a month and I don't go to work, I'm not getting paid. Mike gets laid off. We're 3 months from losing our home. And so I just thought, I want to dig that well before I need the water. Like, that is the way I'm looking at it, and start really building. And then when I met Daisy and my friend Sheridan, Daisy is literally, she's been doing this for 2 years, and this girl is like at the top. And she's done it. And my friend before me, she's already getting there, and I'm already getting there. So to the point where I am able to drop that Sunday shift. And that was really what it is for me, is like having that time, having that security, and that's what this company really is showing me, and the products are just amazing. So I'll let Daisy kind of finish off her little points, and then we'll be done. Thank you.
And something I want to say about our company that I love is that when you work, you get paid for what you, which I love. That's just not how it is in the workforce. You get paid, you go to school and you maybe make $10 more than someone next to you, but your debt from school is crazy. But you get paid what you do in this company, so they are incentivizing me to Costa Rica at the end of the month, and I'm taking home girl, which I'm really excited about. I'm married to Tarzan, like resort life doesn't sound good to him at all, so he's like, why don't you take Allison? Which is awesome, so I just wanted to so the products, obviously you can see that there's nothing like it. Timing was a big one for me because I did know one person that basically made it in network marketing, and it was my friend's grandma. She got into Avon in the beginning, and know, when my friend, she just passed away, which was, you know, heartbreaking, but when she passed away, my friend went from living like how I grew up, you know, single wall construction, you know, almost kind of borderline ghetto, you know, in whites, everything's falling apart. We live close to the beach, and she went from living in holes with holes in her floors to grandma passed, leaving her millions, where she's, you know, lives in a huge house, has horses, has rentals, and it's not about making millions, but it's, I mean, that's pretty darn cool to have an asset that you make, that you work for 2 to 5 years, and it grows for the rest of your existence, and then you can pass on your grandkids. You know, that's magic, and that's the magic of this. So the reason why Auntie, or Grandma, whatever you want to call her, the reason why she did so well is she got in early, right? This is the S curve, the famous S curve. She got in early. She got in right about here. And when this critical mass happens, and it happens in every company that goes from, you know, a few million to, you know, a few billion, and what happens is you grow by 3,000% every month, which is crazy. And what happened for me is I started remembering, you know, Grandma, and I started looking at the S curve, and I started, when I saw that all these things were in line and that they're working for, you know, this product in the company and the where this is going, I learned that we have 80,000 distributors worldwide. We're in 8 countries. And, you know, Peter Drucker says if you can be one of the first 150,000 in a company that goes to a, you know, multi-billion dollar, even a $1 billion company, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. And that got my wheels turning, you know, because timing is everything. And I thought, this isn't even wine cellar. This is like below the wine cellar. You know, they always say ground floor, you know, that's when I go to these meetings and they're like, you're on the ground floor. But because it's so traded, I can see the numbers. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, like this is what I can sell to my friends. Say, let's get rich together and bring a bunch of people out of the mud, and let's all go together. You know what I mean? And so I sold, you know, the timing of this. That's my whole thing, is because, you know, the products are amazing and there's nothing else like them, but this is what we're really selling. Because if you get involved here and this thing happens, this critical mass happens, you can be anyone and just do a little work and you can win. But if you get involved now, like if, you know, if my friend Amy, whose grandma passed away, if she decided to get into Avon now, it'll be a selling rock star machine. You know, and that's what I like about this, is I can call my friends or my dad, who's, you know, my dad is so sweet. I just heart, but he's, you know, he's not going to go to a bunch of meetings and do a meeting, but I can put a couple people under him that are running, and they can, you know, do a little bit of work, and my dad's going to have the craziest retirement. You know, and that's the beauty of this, and that's the beauty and the magic of network marketing if you can get in early. So that blew me away, the numbers. And, you know, I honestly believe, from what I've seen in the last 2 years, and your son's story, I mean, that's just one. I mean, we could sit here all night and talk about testimonial after testimonial after testimonial of things and dogs and people and my cat. I mean, it's crazy. You can't believe these stories. You know, and that's like the real reason why it's so incredible. And that's the real reason why, you know, I believe that we're like sitting with Steve Jobs in the basement right now. And we're like, he's like, I got this thing called a laptop. And we're like, what do you mean computers are as big as the house? I don't understand. But I believe that. I really believe, because of the technology and because of what I've seen firsthand, is that, man, there is nothing that can prepare us for a moment like this, you know? So, okay, I'll go on, because I don't want to take too much time. I get really excited. Can you tell I get really excited about this one? The trends have to be in your favor. If the trends aren't in your favor, unfortunately, you're just not going to be able to make, you know, good money or bring your friends into an opportunity that's worthwhile. But when I started to really look at trends, and I started to read, what's his name, Paul Zahner, Pilzer. You know, this is a guy who said in the 70s, computers are going to take over the world, and everyone kind of thought, yeah, right, you know, whatever, weirdo. But look what happened. They took over the world. I mean, the world economist. He's been like, you know, the right-hand man of presidents. And he says that the biggest industry that we've ever seen is coming upon us right now. And it's the health and wellness industry. I get goosebumps when I talk about it, because I mean, where we live, there's a yoga studio in every corner. You know, the fast food places are closing down, more health food stores. I mean, you guys are seeing it here, I'm sure, and it's the next wave, and it's a $1 trillion industry, you know, so if you can get in front of that, and that thing comes, and, you know, it's one of those, same thing, opportunity of a lifetime, you know, and so that really sparked my whole interest too, of just thinking of, you know, what's happening, because it's happening here, right? Are you guys seeing more health and people caring about what they're eating and all that kind of stuff? Yeah. And the real reason, I mean, I'll just kind of educate on it, because it kind of blew my mind, is how, you know, the baby boomers, and you hear that such a funny, you know, slang, but they've ruled our economy. You know, when they were babies, there was Gerber and diapers. That's when those guys came on the scene. And then when they got a little bigger, there was Tonka trucks. You remember that's when Tonka and Play School and all those. And then there was the Mustang, and then there was the minivan. Love the minivan. There was the huge, you know, where everyone was buying houses, and there was the real estate, you know, boom. And now they're older and they're feeling their aches and pains. And unfortunately, there is no retirement for most of them. You know, my mom and my dad and my uncles, they're going to work till the day they die, most likely. 95% of, you know, people 65 and older are going to work till the day they die. And that has become my why, because that breaks my heart. I'm sorry, I love elderly people, and that freaks me out, that they're going to have to work harder than ever. And, you know, in the workplace, that's just no fun. So this was the icing on the cake right here. When I got to this one, and I'm just going to show you a few bonuses. There's a bunch of ways that people get paid, but I'm just going to show you a few of the ones that I loved. Fast Start bonus, this gets paid a week. And I like to also, you know, call it the return on your investment. How are you going to make your money back? That's kind of, when people sign up with me, I say, okay, let's get you your money back as quick as possible. There's basically 2 ways to get in. There's a 630 pack, and there's a $1,000 pack. You know, I own my own business. Like I said, I have the, you know, the restaurant. I also have a surf school, and I'm telling you, it's cost, you know, 20 grand to do the restaurant. It costs, you know, 15 grand to do the surf school, and I had a lot of help from my sponsors at that time. So this blew me away. I was like, wow, you know, you can get involved for that much. And then your overhead is $100 to $200 a month, depending on what you wanna put out. But this really blew my mind, because my electric bill was like $800 a month, $900 a month just for my restaurant. And I thought, wow, where in the world can you build a multi-million-dollar business if you want to for $7 a day with an overhead that you can basically consume or sell? You know, I mean, our auto ship now is up in the 800s because we have the uncles that don't have credit cards knocking on the door, just like, here's my $40, my arthritis feels better. I don't know if it's the Protandim, you know, we can't say, but, you know, they're feeling better than they've ever felt. And so our auto ship is out the roof. But basically, 3 in, and you're in for free is how I like to look at it. So you're going to get $210 for the first 3 that you sign up at the 631. And if you know, take this pack, which I would recommend because you get more product, you're going to get $360 back, so you'll get in for free and have a little more. And there's other bonuses that go in, but I like this. It's payback weekly, and then you actually get a bonus on your 4th, and you know, as you bring more people into it. And this gets really interesting and fun if you like math, but I just like to make it easy. Is that cool? You guys okay with that? So the residual is really, to me, you know, why we're all here. This is a mailbox money. This is, you know, we're in this for the marathon. We're not just gonna like get rich quick with this. It's, you know, I had nap time. My kids were young, I had nap time, you know, when I was not working, and I had an hour a day, and I slowly built it, and I was consistent, and now our residual income is a joke. I mean, it's growing every month. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing, actually. My husband called me yesterday, and he goes, oh, I just got pulled over for having the cell phone. I've got a $400 ticket. And any other time, I would have lost it on him, you know. And I'm just like, good thing our paycheck went up this month, you know, and that's the beautiful thing, is life happens, and now we can afford it, right? So residual, the way I'm going to show you, is it's basically getting you off that hamster wheel. That's what residual income is you work for 2 to 5 years, and your residual grows, and then you're off the hamster wheel, and you're doing whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. So the way I like to look at it is, I'll do this little diagram really quick. If you sign 5 people up, and they're on their $200 auto ship, your residual income's, you know, it's not that much, $25, buy you a lunch. But if these 5 people sign up 5 people, which happens pretty darn quick, and they have their little auto ship, you're gonna make $125 every month, which isn't that much. Is it $125 or $250? Are you good at math? $250. Okay, thank you. I was like, that doesn't look very good. It doesn't look right, because I know I'm not a mathematician. I've memorized this, but this is the magic of network marketing. Not that I'm not good at math, but this is what happens. So if these 5 people sign up 5 people, that happened also pretty darn quick, is that you're gonna make about $2,500 extra every month, which is 30 grand a year, which I don't know about you, but that's life changing. For doing something part-time and being able to make that kind of money, that's keeping people in their house. That's bringing one home from work. You know, that's going on a few vacations more a year. You know, you can imagine what you do with that money. The third way that they pay is for leadership. And this is my favorite part of the whole thing, because it's 80% of my paycheck, but also I just love the mentality of this. And how this works, there's something called a matching bonus. And if here's me, and I signed up Sheridan, and signed up Allison, and Allison signed up Stacy, and Stacy signed up someone else, and there's another person right here, I'm gonna get on Sheridan's paycheck, And I'm gonna get 5% on these ladies right here. And now this isn't, it's not a lot in the beginning, but now it's 80% of my paycheck. So and I love the mentality behind it, and I always like to go into that, is that it basically is a impetus to help you help this person, and your person. I'm gonna fly to Georgia because I don't really wanna help Stacy, and I wanna help her team, you know, and it's basically, you get paid to take people under your wing and not just ditch them. You know what I mean? You get paid to help people. What in the world? Where in the world can you find that kind of job? I'm sorry. Usually it's, if I give my secrets away and I train this person and then they go and leave me and open up a new business on the road, and now they're my biggest competitor. But in this, they're like, you know, you help to create a leader, help people to themselves, and then you're gonna get paid 10% on there every month. I get 10% of Sheridan's paycheck, 5% of Allison's, and so on, all the way down. Incredible. And then this is what I just sat my husband down. I was like, is this real? This is called the elite bonus. And the way I like to look at this is we're in the garage with Steve Jobs, and he says, yeah, not only can you come along with me on this journey, but I'm gonna give you a percentage of every computer ever sold for the future of Apple. And this blew me away. I don't know if this doesn't blow you away, I might have to pinch you because this is crazy. So when you get to Pro 7 to Pro 10 with 8 ranks, they're in 1% of the global gross sales every month. Did you guys hear that? Because I mean, I don't know about you, but when you get to Pro 8, you're gonna get 2%. Pro 9 and 10s, they get 3%, and Pro 10s get to share in, 4% every month of the global gross sales. So now, remember that S curve, and when that thing's at the top, this is gonna be a crazy bonus that you're getting every month. And the thing that I like most about the elite bonus is that no one's competing. If Uncle down the street's having a meeting, I can go and do his meeting for him, because everyone's on my team now. You know what I mean? And that is the beauty of what this company is doing. It's bringing everyone in together, and everyone works together. And that's why we've had a bunch of Pro 10s come to Kauai, and also because it's Kauai, but they've come to help us to build our team over there, and that's what I love about this company is everyone is together, everyone's going together and doing it. A rising tide raises all ships, and that's kind of what we have here, which is so incredible. And then the last thing, the bonus, which I fall in love with so much, is the system. And it's a super simple system, and basically the way it works is that you link arms with the people that signed you up, or the people that are sidelined, like Michelle and Allison work together, and you guys basically work together to get to the top. There's no competition, there's nothing weird. I mean, I'm sure you guys are probably secretly like, oh no, she's gonna get Atlanta. Oh no, she's gonna get Atlanta. I know. You'll go get her. But the amazing part is that it's super simple, and you basically come in and we do the work. Your leaders do the work for you until you feel like you can do the work. And we train you. It's like on-the-job training, and it's simple, and it's like duplicatable. And you go to 3 elite academies 3 times a year, and you go and you hang with people that want to be dreamers and want to think outside the box. And that's been incredible for me to see, even what's happened in my own household. My kids are like, no, go to Georgia, you need to help auntie. So everyone's auntie and uncle in Hawaii, just in case you're like, why is everyone, what is she talking about? But he's like, no, you need to go and help auntie. And that is, to me, is like priceless. To have your kids wanting you to be selfless and wanting you to help and time, that's something that I could have never given them before, ever. I couldn't have. And more than that, it's that we're creating a culture and a community of people that are sick of being sick and tired, and we're not going to take it anymore, and we're going to go to the top and have the life that we've always wanted. Because really, you guys, success is living the life you want. It's not how many houses you have or cars or boats. It's living the life you want. So this compensation, that's rich and you can make millions, but it's more about the choices that you can make every day. You don't have to wake up to an alarm clock. Friggin' traffic is going to stop. And it's something you can build on the side while you still have to go through that friggin' rat race and hamster wheel. But pretty soon you're gonna be, spinning it with a foot, your hamster wheel. And now I'm off. I'm like, woo, that's spinning without me, and I'm going this way. And that's the beauty of this. And it does take work, and it does take a little bit of discipline, but it's, man, I'm on the other side now after 2 years, and it's just, I want to shape people. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what else are you gonna do in the next, 2 to 5, 10 years? Even if it took you 10 years to get to Pro 7. What are you doing that's going to give you that? And what's your plan for the future? Because if you are sick of being sick and tired now, it's going to be a lot worse in 5 to 10 years. And if you want to come with us and build this slowly, we'll help you. And if not, no worries. But check in, with the people that invited you, because these people are going to the top, and they'll check in with you every and say, oh, how's it going? Because gosh, it's going so good. And eventually you'll probably end up coming with us, because it's like, it's hard to be friends with someone that's, you know, having us, because it's easy. It's everyone can do it, you know. So does anybody have any questions? That's it though. It's in a nutshell. Is that a question?
It is.
Is everyone good on questions and all that? Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for coming and listening and all that. And come to Wyatt. We're super open.